Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I want to talk briefly about EPiC, Elvis Presley in Concert. My wife and I went and saw that the other night and we really enjoyed it. If you're an Elvis fan, I think you'll enjoy it as well. It was really well done the way they edited the footage. And some of this footage I don't think has been seen before, from what I understand. But they edited interview quotes from Elvis. So you actually get to hear Elvis's voice and telling the story throughout the film from, because they promote it as through his voice, not someone else talking about him. So there's a lot of interviews with him. So him telling things throughout the film with older footage of performances and a lot of newer footage from the 69 to 77 when he was performing in Vegas. So there's a lot of Vegas footage, both from concerts and from rehearsals and so forth. And so it was really well done and put together. Obviously, great music throughout. A lot of Elvis songs, the songs he did covers of when he was performing live and so forth. So we both really enjoyed this movie, enjoyed the music. And at the same time, it makes you a little sad that, he died at 42, so much talent and to die young and early. And in some of the scenes, you could tell the weight gain and some of the effects the drugs and so forth were having on him. And it was sort of sad too that in some of the interviews, he talked about wanting to perform in other countries, which he never got to do, and wanting to be in some more movies that were better than the movies he had filmed when he was younger, when they were just cranking him out left and right just because he was so popular. And he didn't get to do those. If they didn't talk about it, but if you know about Elvis and the Colonel that was his manager, I think, if he would have had better people managing and helping him, things could have been a lot better for him and different. So it's sort of sad to see some of the effects. You can tell the weight gain and the drugs, and then hearing some of the things he wanted to do that he never was able to. But if you're an Elvis fan, it really is a good film to just experience him, his views, and some great music throughout the film. So we enjoyed it. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Vicky. Appreciate you guys being here, saying hello. Good morning, Thad. Appreciate you being here and saying hello. Good morning, Dixon. Dixon said, how much of that dialogue is AI, though? Because that's completely doable nowadays. You can't really tell the difference. I don't think it was AI. I think these were actual interviews that he did. But you are correct. It is hard to distinguish AI from real life sometimes now. Wife and I were talking about that last night, not about Elvis, but about something completely different, and how it is so difficult, sort of scary of what they can do and where it's going. I think all of the footage and the interviews and so forth were actual. I don't think it was done by AI by this movie, but I don't know that 100%. I haven't researched that or anything. But, again, it was an enjoyable movie, very positive Elvis, just showing him, his performances, and some insights from him. So if you're an Elvis fan, it does justice to him, and it pays tribute to him and showing that. And so like I said, we really enjoyed it, but also felt a little bit sad that he died so early and didn't get to do some of the other things he really wanted to. And while the movie didn't say this is me from other knowledge about Elvis, I think better management, better people in his life could have made things a lot different. But again, for the film, highly recommended if you're an Elvis fan. You want to enjoy some music and some insights into his life. Sign up for the newsletter. I was working on that early this morning, got some different articles. Have one about, wiping the honey off your nose. Got to get the newsletter if you want to know what I'm talking about there. Got one also about gun safety, important topic if you own firearms. And it's important if you don't own firearms, because you may encounter a firearm at some time in your life, and you ought to know basics about safety. So that's in there as well. And another martial art article in there about injuries versus pain and the difference, and how we train not to be injured, try not to be, as I still nurse this wrist that's giving me problems, but we fight through and go through the pain that's not injury. So those are some of the articles coming up. That newsletter will go out tonight. Sign up at enjoylifesafely.com so you don't miss it. Dixon also said, well, avoiding the negative side of things is the only way for it to be epic. Thanks, Dixon. And that was, it definitely avoided all the negative things about Elvis, and was a very positive movie showing his insights and his performances. And, he was a great performer, and he always wanted to give his best to those that he was performing for. So in that part, it was. And I thought it was cool how they play on EPiC, Elvis Presley in Concert. So go see that movie if you're an Elvis fan. I don't think it'll be in the theaters too long, but when it's streaming, you can check it out as well. But it is cool to see on that big giant screen and hear the music, just filling the auditorium of the theater. So I highly recommend it for Elvis fans. Sign up for the newsletter, enjoylifesafely.com. Make it a super Sunday, and I'll be back to see you tomorrow.